paddy works on the railway. In 1842 from Hartlepool I moved to Crewe, found myself a job to do, working on the railway.
Hiya. Right, this is the third and hopefully final video on my computer build setup. So we've done the physical build of the computer. I've done the installation and configuration of OBS. This is how I control it. The OBS has got lots of cameras and lots of options, and you can do it with a mouse, but that's crazy. So the way to do it is with an external keyboard with hotkeys on it that does it all for you. Several methods of doing that. Stream Deck is one method, and Touch Portal is another method. You could also do it with just a numeric pad set up with hotkeys. But I choose to use Touch Portal. I like Touch Portal. I can usually get hold of old hardware, so that's not a price to me. A key difference is with Stream Deck, you buy the entire kit. It plugs into a USB port by default, and you've got the button pad, which has got, I can't remember, 6, 15 and 30 I think is the options for buttons. With Touch Portal, you buy an app, you install it on a tablet that you must already own. That's either an Android or an iPad, either one. You can put them onto really old tablets, I mean seriously old kit, which is a good plan, because if you've got a single static light source on all the time, it will burn the screen eventually. Having said that, my screen hasn't burnt in and I've been using it for a year or so. So eventually is the answer. But an old one, cheap one, free one, that's what you want. The one I've got I was given because the battery life has dropped on it to a point where it's no longer a portable device. Doesn't bother me in the workshop, it's just plugged into power. It's portable enough for me to take it across the workshop and use it to control the cameras whilst I'm using the bandsaw or whatever, but it's in power most of the time, so it's fine. And I paid absolutely nothing for it, which is always a good thing. That's the right price to pay for anything, if you can. Okay, so at the moment I've got nothing set up, so I'm controlling it all with a mouse. So if we go over to I stuffed up the audio here. When I switched cameras, I lost the audio, so I'm making it up. So on this page, you've got the page set up, which allows you to set up the grid size you want. Don't do too big because you'll end up with small buttons. You can also change the colors, put a background picture in if you feel like it. Personally, I just like it dark. It means I can put my buttons in, make my buttons colorful. Annoyingly, I had a big script here, but I've forgotten what it was. Okay, so over on the right-hand side of the screen, we have some predefined buttons. This is a new feature of Touch Portal, which makes it a lot easier to set up. Drag and drop, pick a style, tell it which scene you want it to open up, and save it. And do the same again for another camera. There's many other options, not just in the predefined, but in the OBS module itself. But I'm going to put in one here, which is turning on a source within a scene. You remember I created the banners scene, and all the sources were turned off by default, and they all overlay the screen. So I'm putting that in here now. It's a toggle, so you'll turn on or turn off depending on the current state. Tablet now. You can't see the bottom button. Hang on, let me drag that up a bit. Okay, sorry about the reflections. I've been playing with the cameras. I can't figure out a way of getting a picture of the tablet without reflections in it. But we won't be on that for long. As you can see, I've got the button here is highlighted. The button here is grey. That's because this one is selected, Scene Mobile. If I select that, you get a portrait, but you now can't see the screen. Take my word for it, the Scene Mobile is now grey, this one is now lit up. And if I press the toggle, that toggles my banner and goes back to showing the right hand screen again, so you can see the programming system. So it's as simple as that. Do that for all your cameras and you've got a system. Being a programming language, you can get as fancy as you want in here. You could have that turning on microphones, running code, all sorts. All of these settings in OBS are available to you. And on the event, now this looks more complicated. Don't get lost in this. This is the default button, remember, that I dragged in and dropped there. So what that's saying is, in OBS, if the scene selected is portrait, then put that text on the button. Text size it to auto, which doesn't need putting in there because it's going to be that by default. Change the text color if you want to. Position the text. And various other things. And turn off the transparent background. So that means it's showing the background. And you've then got this color variation, which is what gives you the tone through. Gradient, they call it. And then further down, when OBS active scene is not portrait, again, change the text. All basically the same, but it changes the background color to grey. Simple as. So it looks complicated, but it's really quite simple. But you could do more things in there if you wanted to. Whenever you've modified a button, save and close. The source toggle. So here's the screen I created earlier. It's all nice and bright. I like it that way. There you can see that one's highlighted, those aren't. So I can very quickly glance at my thing, see which camera I'm using. I've got a record button there, which is red when it's recording, and brown when it's not recording. So nice and colourful, very easy to see which camera to use, and simple as that. That's a lot. Very short video. It's short video because it's a quick and easy subject. Touch portal. I like it. I like it because I've got a programmer's mentality, but also now it's got the drag and drop buttons. It's easy for anybody to use, and you can make it as advanced and complicated as you want. That's a lot. Thanks for watching. Cheers for now.